Welcome to my first ever book versus movie video here on Horror Show Host. Today I will be taking a look at Pet Sematary from 1983 by Stephen King and Pet Sematary, the 1989 movie directed by Mary Lambert. This video will contain spoilers. You have been warned. They are nearly identical. The story derives from a near death in the Stephen King family. His son was almost hit by a truck. The origin of the idea came from a what-if scenario. Wonderfully morbid indeed. There are additional characters and scenes in the book, while the movie settles for a more tight pace. I'd have to give a point to the book and half a point to the movie. Louis Creed is constantly called Lou by his wife in the book. He's a doctor at a university hospital, and a fair father who is loving and caring. His wife, Rachel, is a bit traumatized by the idea of death. She had to take care of her ill sister, Zelda, who suffered from spinal meningitis. One day, Zelda died, and Rachel felt either relieved or happy. She isn't too specific, but it's obvious she was overjoyed to not have to take care of her creepy sister anymore. Ellie and Gage Creed are the children of the story. If you watch or read the story unfold, Ellie is the only survivor of the main characters. She is also plagued by foretelling dreams that scare her to tears. Gage is a cute kid in both versions. After he is killed, though, he is brought back and becomes vulgar and transforms into many faces in the book, and it's quite unsettling. In the movie, he's just kind of like a kid with a snarl. Judd Crandall and his wife, Norma, are a caring couple. Judd has a thick Maine accent and becomes somewhat of a father figure to Louis. Norma is a fragile character. She has a near-death experience, but then later she does die. Norma isn't even in the movie, but instead is replaced by a housemaid named Missy Dandridge. The rest of the cast are either friends of Louis, whether it is co-workers or business buddies, or are integral to warning Louis. Victor Pascow isn't in the book as much as he is in the movie, which seemingly pays tributes to An American Werewolf in London. The animals are quite different between book and movie too. When Judd was a kid, he brought his dog Spot back to life. However, in the book, he seems to be in a trance-like state, but in the movie he is snarling and vicious. Also, Cujo is mentioned in the book, not by name but by description. The Wendigo, while not in the movie, is still quite creepy in the book. It's the reason why the dead animals and people are coming back to life when you bury them. Although, was it the ancient Indian burial ground, or was it the Wendigo? I'd have to give the book 1 point and to the movie half a point. While neither book nor movie are extremely gory, they do have their fair share of gross-out moments. The book descriptions of Pascow's mutilated head and Gage's attack on Judd are disturbing and violent. The movie's effects in those scenes, plus the ending, are grotesque. I thought the effects were, and still are, great. I'd have to give a point to both book and movie. Near the end of the book and movie, Louis is on the hunt for Gage. After stumbling upon the bodies of Judd and Rachel, his son attacks, and I think the book handles it better. It's intense and doesn't feature the Gage puppet they used for the scenes that would require too much risk for the child actor. The ending to both versions are still sad, though. Louis tries to bring Rachel back to life via the pet cemetery, and on the last page of the book, she touches his shoulder while he sulks at the table and says, "Darling?" That is super creepy. In the movie, Louis sees and makes out with her mutilated corpse, right before she grabs a kitchen knife and stabs him off-screen. A sad ending indeed. I'd give a point to both the book and the movie for the climax, along with the ending that's needed to be discussed. One dark tale, two similar versions. The book is leaps and bounds better than the movie, but the movie still has some redeeming qualities. I'd have to give the book a 5 out of 5, and the movie a 3.5 out of 5. The ratings will be different in the solo reviews because I'm comparing both book and movie here, and not on their own in a review. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, host of the Horror Show Host. Make sure to like my Twitter, Facebook fan pages, and to make sure to donate to my Patreon page in the description below, and to leave comments and subscribe. While